you doing? So for me, that was my second and last set doing that weight, which is 135 pounds. Yep, 135 pounds. And if you saw the video before this one, I did 135 pounds for the first time, which was today actually. So if you saw, that's why you see the sweat. I did back first. I always do back first, and then I do chest. So I did 135. And the reason why I'm doing this video, especially to do it right after lifting that load, is because for those who try to do certain things, lift certain loads, there's a strong possibility. Again, I did it for the first time today, 135. In fact, a lot of the loads that I moved for the first time, I did this year at 38 years old. Well, a little before my 38th birthday, I did a few things for the first time. So now at 38, I've been 38 years old since, July 19th of this year. My point of that is, one, if you are not able to lift a certain load to a certain degree, it might be your fault. And what I mean by that is, especially from learning from my mistake, is, and you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing depending on what and why you're doing it, but depending on what your focus is, especially for me, if you're trying to lift a certain load, the angle matters. And with the 135 I just did, if I put my bench at a certain spot like I used to when I was in my 20s, trying to hit the upper chest, which is fine if you're going to do that. But when it comes to incline or anything, the more you get to the point to where you're overhead, the harder the exercise will be. So if you have a certain bench that has multiple spots for you to put the bench, I want to say bench head, bench board, whatever you want to call it, but the piece that you lay your back on, if you put it in a certain spot to work your shoulders, to work your upper chest, if you put in a certain spot, it's going to be harder than it has to be depending on what you're actually trying to do. You'll have to try it in order for that to make sense. And don't hesitate to message me. Don't hesitate to message me if you're interested on Facebook or Instagram. I'll put the links at the bottom of the video. If you want to do that, to ask certain questions, and if the questions are respectful and worth asking. When I was growing up, they used to say there's no such thing as a stupid question, but people are doing a real good job of trying to prove that wrong, almost regardless of the age. But again, the reason I did 135 for the second time and now telling you is because, again, I'm hoping to, that's what a lot of us should do, especially for us to, one, if you have a certain amount of experience, two, more likely if you're around my age or older, for us to help others, especially the younger people, with high hopes you do it better and better, stronger, faster, whatever it is. So in this case, stronger and better. To put the bench in a certain spot. So what I used to do is I would put, and again, it's not necessarily bad, but I didn't understand as much at the time. And if you put the bench at a certain spot. So let's say, I don't know if you can really tell the difference, but if I put it here, it's going to be much harder to move that 135. I put it here, which is more of a shoulder than chest, it is doing chest, but if I put it here, again, I doubt you can tell the difference. But the higher you go, the harder it's going to be, which is fine if that's what you're trying to do. So I think I had it here, and again, you should see somewhat of a difference without me moving the camera. You put it in a certain spot, you should be able to lift a certain load. If you do a certain amount of weight at incline, is very unlikely, depending on how much it is, that you'll be able to do the same weight depending on the order you do it in. So I usually do flat bench first, but due to an issue that I had a few months ago, it's challenging to, if I try to press a certain amount of weight, when I go down, it doesn't feel as good as it should at flat as it does when I do incline. So I think from now on I'm going to do incline first, and lift as heavy as I possibly can, and then go to flat compared to doing flat and then doing incline. Because with incline, it seems like I won't be able to do some of the load that I want to do. But again, the goal of the video is to make sure, to try to help make sure that there's an understanding, or there becomes an understanding that the angle always matters. There are more people doing stuff at different angles, which is great or fine, if you're doing it for reasons that make sense and reasons that actually work. So if you're going to do stuff at certain angles, go for it. If you think you actually know why you're doing it, and if it actually works. And the fact that it might not work don't mean you're necessarily doing anything wrong. It's just something different or better you should be doing that works specifically for you. So again, that depends on what you're doing. And for me, the goal is to lift as much as I can, while I can. So again, at 38, I'm doing certain this year, before my 38th birthday and now being 38 this year, there's many things that I've done for the first time, and I've actually put it on here, either here or Instagram, and sometimes both. I think I did a lot of firsts this year as far as this stuff. I think I did 123 for the first time. I think I did 128 for the first time. I think I did 133 for the first time. Incline and flat. Well, no, incline. And then a lot of my firsts were all on incline. And I think I might have did a personal best on flat as well. I don't remember. But now, due to some of the issues that I'm having, I don't know if I'll be doing many more personal bests on flat. So a lot of the personal bests will be on incline. So again, for you, picking a certain angle, and if it seems like it's not working, it's not necessarily that you're doing stuff wrong. There's a possibility some of you are, a lot of you probably are. But for some of us, it's just not knowing enough just yet. So again, depending on your angle, you'll be able to move a certain load, and then it depends on how much time you take in between sets. It's kind of annoying, but for me, for those of us that are focused more on strength than some other things, is to take probably 2 to 3 minutes, possibly a little bit more in between sets, which isn't too bad for me because I don't do as many sets as other people. To be honest, I've been only doing 2 sets for quite a while now. Before, I might have done 3, sometimes 4, then I'll go back to 3, and then last probably 3 years, if not longer, I think I've just stuck with 2, for the sake of I'm not trying to be as, see if I can say the word correctly, aesthetic, to where I'm not trying to look like Terry Crews and Michael J. White and some other people. I wouldn't be mad if I did, but that's not necessarily my goal. I don't feel the temptation, as much temptation, to put effort towards looking like that, but to be able to do multiple things while still looking decent is my goal. So again, it's not to impress, but to help. Especially seeing that for those who might not know, who might be seeing this or any of my videos for the first time, specifically this one, I'm the owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness. And my goal, the goal of any trainer, but specifically my goal, is to help you be better, smarter, safer, and to a certain degree, at least for me, it's fun. For me, it's fun. So again, if for you, if it's fun, then obviously I'll do my part to try to make it fun too, depending on what you actually consider fun. So again, the goal of this video is just to make sure there's an understanding in that, because in my 20s, I didn't understand it as much. I'm not sure if I cared as much. It didn't matter as much until you get to the point to where it's just like, well, man, why can't I lift more? Or, you know, why haven't I lifted more yet? And lifted more yet? And why does it seem to be so challenging and all this other stuff? So again, challenging is good. But, you know, if it seems like you're not progressing and a certain period of time goes by, it helps to understand why. So yeah, just understanding why, and then if you don't understand why, knowing where to get your information from. So again, you know, I'm 38 years old, I'm vegan, and as a 38-year-old vegan, especially for those who think that vegans cannot or are not strong, hopefully by now, I've been vegan for almost 3 years. So hopefully by now, for those who have at least a little bit of interest towards doing it, depending on almost regardless of why, have an understanding that you can do it. I believe you should do it, due to the fact that you'll feel better in multiple ways, which I believe is what it's supposed to be about. Feeling better in multiple ways, and I believe you'll be stronger than you actually think, as long as you're providing your body with the nutrients that you actually need, if you actually know when and how often to do it. So again, there's quite a bit for all of us to learn, and hopefully, depending on what stage you're in at this point in your life, I can be part of that if you let me do it. Whether that's on YouTube or you actually hire me as your online personal trainer, however that goes. So hopefully, whether it's this video or any of the other videos that I have, that you watch and hopefully enjoy, you press the like button, share it with people who you think might like it, or even if you're not sure, share it for just in case to help somebody out. Again, I'm 38, so 38 years old. So again, I would definitely appreciate it if somebody had a video like this and I actually took the time to watch it and understand it. Watch it, understand it hopefully as best as I could, and then utilize it. And just enjoy the process. Sometimes it's hard, but sometimes with it being hard, that's because you're trying to rush it. So again, try to take more time, a certain amount of time, to learn how to get better, to practice how to get better, and hopefully getting the information from the right resources, and hopefully, depending on how much stuff you've watched and heard and believed and tried, that I can be part of that if you allow me to do so. So like I said, hopefully you like this video, actually press the like button, share with people who might be interested, even if you're not sure, and then subscribe so that you become notified of other videos that I'll be doing, especially with my current schedule, to where I don't have to rush to actually try to do the stuff that I want to do now. So yeah, hopefully you like the video, share the video, subscribe so you can see more, with high hopes that my videos are more better as far as having better lighting and just helping you along your journey depending on where you are at this point in your life. This is Martin, owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness. Take care.